Hey there, and welcome or welcome back. Today's practice is all about supporting the metal element, which is associated with the autumn season in traditional Chinese medicine. No props are really needed for this one, but if you do like to practice with blocks, feel free to pause the video and grab some blocks. But we are going to get started in a seated position. So coming to an easy seat, we're going to take the right shin in front of the left. We're going to start with Sukhasana. So finding your easy seat, sit up nice and tall, and then start to take your left hand down to the mat. Maybe you start to close your eyes. Let's take an inhale, raise the right arm up, and then exhale, side bend to the left. And so just start to feel into the right side of the body, noticing what automatically feels open, maybe feeling a little bit of a tug along the right side of the body. And so we're going to take things nice and slow here. Maybe you turn the head down towards the left hand, looking at your left hand. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, walk the hands in front of you, starting to round your spine, and just begin to fold forward here. Resting your arms in front of you, and allowing the neck and the head to be heavy. Let the sides of the neck be soft. And if you haven't done so yet, see if you can seal the lips. So you're inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. And then on your next inhale, walk your hands and come back to an upright position. Take your left hand to your right knee, right hand behind you, find a little twist. And it doesn't have to be anything super deep into your range of motion, just a gentle twist. Maybe you find that your eyes want to close down. Maybe adding in a little bit of extra neck stretch and looking over the right shoulder. And then the next time you inhale, start to unwind the body, looking towards the front again. And then reaching your right arm out by your side, reach your left arm up on the inhale. And then as you exhale, side bend to the right. And again, just making this nice and easy. Feeling into the left side ribs. And seeing if you can cultivate a slow, steady breath. And again, maybe you look down at the right hand if that feels comfortable on your neck. Take an inhale here. And then the next time you exhale, start to bring your hands in front of you again, finding that easy forward fold. Nice, easy, gentle forward fold. Maybe you turn inwards here and see if there's any extra tension in the neck that can be released. Just letting the head and the neck dangle, be heavy. And then the next time you inhale, just walk your hands back towards yourself, sitting upright again. And then bring your hands behind you. Start to bend your elbows, drawing your shoulder blades together, and just sort of leaning back into the hands. Drawing the elbows together, the shoulder blades together, really feeling that gentle stretch along the pecs. Nice little gentle chest opener here. Find that slow, steady breath. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. And then just coming back to your upright seated position here, turn to the left, so right hand to left knee. Left hand can go behind you, just finding that little gentle twist. And just notice at first how this feels in your body before you might decide to look over the left shoulder. And just sort of taking this in steps, so not going to your max range of motion or not pushing yourself to your max, but keeping this nice and gentle. And then the next time you take an inhale, start to look forward and unwind the body. Take an inhale, reach both arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms out to a T. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up, let the spine get nice and long. And exhale, slowly release your arms all the way down to your side. And then maybe in a tabletop position. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Let's take a moment to inhale, extend the spine, tuck the toes, cow pose. And then exhale, start to slowly bring your hips to your heels, picking up your knees and coming slowly to a downward dog. So feel free to take your time getting to a downward dog. And maybe you take a moment to pedal out the feet here, bending one knee, bending the other knee. Sometimes it can just feel so good to find stillness in our downward dog. And once you find some stillness, take a moment to pause here. And then we'll take an inhale, rise up on the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, step forward to an easy forward fold. So easy forward fold here, keeping a nice bend in the knees. Take an inhale to a halfway lift. So we can think of flat back here, imagining the spine getting nice and long from the tailbone all the way to the crown of the head. Maybe you're looking in between the feet. And then on your exhale, bend the knees, soften the knees, forward fold. Inhale, reach all the way up, extend in mountain. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, soften the knees, forward folds. Plant the hands, step just the right foot back, lower the right knee, top of the right foot. So we're in a low lunge here. Take an inhale, reach the left arm up, but maybe it's more of a cactus shape here. So really sort of opening up the chest. And then taking another inhale here, maybe extending the arm up. And then as you exhale, bring the arm down. And then inhale, reach up, opening the chest. And exhale, lowering the arm. And just repeating that. So we're inhaling, reaching up, opening the chest. And then long, slow exhale, lower the arm. Make that slow circles with the arms and incorporating your inhales to your exhales. And as you're doing this, see if you can allow your pelvis to sink down a little bit more. Really feeling into this movement. So we have this really clear, precise movement with the body. Inhaling as we reach up and exhaling, lowering the arm to complete that circle. One more time. Let's take that inhale, reach up. And exhale, circle the arm down. And go ahead and plant that left hand down to the mat. Tuck the back toe under, lift the back knee, step forward, easy forward fold. Soften the knees here. Let's take an inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, step just your left foot back. Lower the back knee, top of the back foot. Let's take that inhale to raise the right arm up. Maybe it's a little bit of a cactus arm here, opening the chest. And then we're going to repeat that. So exhale, lower that right arm. Inhale, raise the right arm up towards the sky. Maybe bend the elbow for cactus arms. opening the chest. And then exhale, lower that right arm. Inhale, reach up. So continue to move on this side with your own breath and flow, but really taking in these nourishing inhales and long, slow exhalations. Maybe meditating on any sensations that might be coming up. Allowing the pelvis to sink a little bit more. So we'll do this a few more times. So inhaling, raising that arm up, opening the chest, and exhaling, lowering the arm. Completing that circle one more time. Inhale, reach up, open the chest, and exhale, lower the arm. And just go ahead and lower that right hand down to the mat. Tucking that back toe under, lift the back knee, step forward, easy forward fold, soften your knees there. Let's take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, extended mountain, get nice and tall. And then exhale, bend your knees. We're coming to a chair pose. Take a moment to notice how your weight is distributed into your feet. So if you're noticing that your weight is more into the soles of your feet, see if you can back it up a little bit into the heels. And that might allow you to sink the hips down a little bit more. Feel free to bring hands to heart center. And then on your next inhale, let's start to straighten the legs, straighten the arms, reaching for the sky. And then exhale, soften the knees, forward folds. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, step back to a plank position. Start to lower the knees, tops of your feet. Take an exhale to lower all the way down. Inhale to baby cobra. Lifting the head and the chest. And then exhale, slowly lowering down. Inhale, pushing to the hands, coming to tabletop. Tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. So here in our downward facing dog, take a moment for a few breaths. Really allow yourself to lengthen through the spine and just kind of playing around with this down dog. So bending the knees as much as you need to get that length in the spine. It's okay if your heels are peeled up. And then we'll find some stillness in our downward dog. Let's take an inhale to rise up on the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, step forward, easy forward fold. Easy forward fold here. Inhale, rise all the way up, extended mountain, get nice and tall. And exhale, hands to heart center. Let's take a moment to come to Tadasana, mountain pose. So feeling down into the feet. And maybe spread the toes a little wide. Take an inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's shift the weight into the right foot, pick up the left foot, step it back, find a warrior one stance. So finding a warrior one and just checking in with your hip points, squaring them to the front of the mat, maybe tucking the tailbone under a little bit. And my back toes are pointed out about 45 degrees. So find a good warrior one stance here. Take the arms up overhead on an inhale. And then as you exhale, bring your hands behind you, interlace the fingers, and start to bring the elbows together and bring the shoulder blades together, and then maybe drawing the hands down. And keeping in mind that tailbone, sometimes we'll want to poke back out, so drawing the tailbone down. We don't want to be kind of laying in our back here. And then we're going to slowly come to a humble warrior. So whenever you're ready, just start to slowly lean forward, but keep the shoulders back. And so go slow because gravity is going to start to take over here, but just allowing the abdomen to rest on that right thigh. And again, keeping the shoulder blades back. We don't want to collapse down into the chest. Notice your feet, keeping you nice and strong and steady there. Invite in a few deep breaths. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. And then on your next inhale, start to really drive down through that right foot. Come on up. And then unlace the fingers. Take an inhale. Reach up in your warrior one. And then exhale, bend the elbows. Finding cactus arms here. So bending the elbows, opening the chest, feeling a nice stretch along the pecs. Take a few deep breaths in there. Notice your feet rooted down, the tailbone drawn down towards your mat. Take an inhale, reach up. And then exhale, bring your arms down by your sides. A little micro bend in that back knee, step forward. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, soften the knees, forward folds. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, folds. Inhale, rise all the way up, extended mountain. And exhale, hands to heart center. So we're going to do that on the opposite side. So start to shift the weight into the left foot, pick up the right foot, step it back, find your warrior one on this side. So again, maybe just bringing your hands to your hip bones and just noticing that awareness there on if they want to shift to the right. Keep them square to the front of your mat. And maybe just notice if you need to widen your stance or keep it a little bit shorter. But the back toes are pointed out about 45 degrees. Nice warrior one stance. Let's take an inhale, raise the arms up overhead. And exhale, bring the hands behind you. Again, interlace the fingers, but don't draw the hands down just yet. Want to bring the elbows together, bring the shoulder blades together, and then maybe you start to draw the hands down your sit bones. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to start to hinge forward, but again, go slow. Gravity is going to take over here. Keep the chest nice and open, shoulder blades together. Find that resting point for the abdomen on your left thigh. And maybe you're gazing down at the left foot. Maybe you start to take the hands a little bit up overhead. But try not to go to your max here. Try not to go to your full range of motion. Taking this nice and slow. And especially just meeting your body where it's at today. So if you feel like you don't or you can't come down all the way, resting your abdomen on your thigh, totally fine. Maybe you just come up a little bit. But meeting your body where it's at. And then really start to drive down through this left foot. On an inhale, we're going to start to lift the abdomen off of the thigh, coming back to an upright position. And then unlace the fingers, take an inhale, reach up. And then exhale, bend the elbows, cactus arms. To feel that nice stretch through the pecs again. Coming back to a slow, steady breath. Notice the feet rooted down to the mat. Notice your tailbone drawing down towards the mat. Let's take an inhale, reach up. And exhale, bring your arms down by your sides. Put a little micro bend in that back knee. We're going to step forward. Take an inhale, reach up. And exhale, soften the knees, forward folds. So finding an easy forward fold here. Feel free to keep a generous bend in the knees. Let's take an inhale for a halfway lift. So coming to that flat back, finding the length in the spine again. And then exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, step back to your plank position. Start to lower the knees, tops of the feet. Take an exhale to lower all the way down. And this time, let's take an inhale to a cobra pose. So maybe lifting the head, the chest, and part of the front of the body here. Holding for a few breaths, keeping the elbows in close to the ribs. And then on your next exhale, lowering all the way down to the mat. And go ahead and rest the forehead there on your mat, keeping your hands where they are. And then we're going to come to a locust variation. So on an inhale, begin to lift the head, the chest, and the hands, keeping your legs nice and long. And then exhale, release down to the mat. Let's do that one more time. So inhale, lift the head, the hands, and the chest, keeping the legs nice and heavy. And then exhale, release all the way down. This time, take an inhale to lift the head, the chest, and the hands, and maybe the feet and the legs. So really what I'm feeling here is the abdomen having that little bit of compression, a little bit of compression in the hip points. Maybe you point the toes, really feeling into the glutes, really squeezing the glutes here, squeezing those shoulder blades together. See if you can come back to slow, steady breath. And then on your next exhale, just slowly release the entire body, coming to a crocodile pose. So place one hand on top of the other. You can rest your forehead right on top of your hand. Allow the entire back side of your body to be relaxed and heavy. And take a moment just to notice. Notice any sensations that might be coming up. Notice your breath, the steadiness of your breath. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to plant our hands underneath our shoulders. Take an inhale to push up through our hands to tabletop. And then we're going to take an exhale to a child's pose. So your choice, feel free to keep your knees together or the knees wide, have a little bit more space in front of you. Maybe you can take your arms long in front of you, or if the shoulders are feeling a little bit fussy, feel free to wrap the arms down by your sides, maybe placing the forehead on your mat. And then I'll give you one last option. If you keep your knees together and your feet together, maybe you just bring one hand on top of the other and lower the forehead onto your hands. So find whatever version of child's pose that's going to work best in your body. Something that you can stay for several breaths. And as you inhale here, notice the ribcage expanding on your inhale. And then as you exhale, let your body soften. See if you can just melt away any extra tension using the exhales. Using the inhales to bring your attention back to the practice. And then on your next inhale, we're just going to briefly come up to a tabletop position here. So feel free to come back to wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to take a few cat-cows. So on an inhale, start to lower the belly, maybe tuck the toes under, lift the chin. And then as you exhale, round the spine, untuck the toes and your chin to the chest. So inhale, lower the belly, tuck the toes, lift the chin and the gaze. And exhale, round the spine, chin to chest, and maybe you untuck the toes there. Inhale, come back to neutral tabletop. And then we're going to make our way into a staff position. So coming onto our sit bones, keeping both legs long down the mat. Really having the spine lengthened and extended towards the sky. Your hands can come down by your sides. Take an inhale to sit up nice and tall. And then as you exhale, start to walk the hands down towards your feet. Finding a little bit of a forward fold here, maybe a little bit of a caterpillar pose. If you can reach the toes or the feet, feel free to reach for those. Maybe reaching for the ankles or the shins. But finding something that you can fold forward here. We won't be here too long. And then whenever you're ready, come back to your upright position. Bend the right knee, cross the right ankle over the left leg. And then we're just gonna bring our right hand behind us, wrapping our left arm around the right knee and just finding a little twist. So my right hand is used for more of a kickstand. So I'm not collapsing down into the chest. I'm really keeping that spine nice and long, keeping the chest open. And then I'm still activating through this left leg. I'm flexing the left toes there. But we want to just find a little bit of spinal rotation. And then on your next exhale, start to unwind from this. Straighten both legs. Maybe give the legs a little shake, a little side to side motion with the legs. Coming back to your staff position. So nice tall spine, legs extended long, toes are flexed. And then whenever you're ready, start to bend that left knee and bring the left ankle over the right leg. And again, this left hand is going to go behind me. Right arm wraps around the left knee. And so from here, again, sitting up nice and tall, making sure we're not collapsed down into the chest. Keep the chest nice and open. That left hand uses as a kickstand. See if you can come back to a slow, steady breath. And then on your next exhale, start to slowly unwind from the twist. Straighten out your legs again. Give the legs a nice little shake. And then we're gonna make our way onto our back. So coming onto your back, feel free to at first, maybe just hug the knees into the chest. Maybe circle the knees using your hands. Whatever feels good here. Maybe just swing side to side for a nice little spinal massage. But whenever you're ready, we're gonna plant the feet, but we're gonna plant the feet wider than our hips distance. And so my hands are just gonna go to my belly and we're just gonna windshield wiper the knees side to side. So really take your time with this. I have my eyes closed and just sort of meditating on this movement. Feel free to coordinate this movement with your breath as well. So maybe on an inhale, you bring the knees back to center, and then exhale, release your knees to one side. Take an inhale, bring the knees back to center, and then exhale, release your knees to the opposite side. You can keep going with your breath or just moving in an organic way that feels best in your body right here, right now. We'll keep going here a few more times. Next time your knees come back up to center, heel toe your feet a little closer together, maybe about hips distance apart again. Stretch your legs out long. Stretching both legs out long. Maybe just taking your arms out by your sides and just letting your whole body be heavy here, coming to a corpse pose. Let your whole body be heavy. And just notice that you don't need to hold yourself up here. And with this metal element, it's all about letting go, creating new space for new positive habits, not holding on to anything that does not serve us. Take a moment for a few more deep breaths. And then whenever you're ready, start to bend the knees, plant the feet, and then roll onto one side using your hand to make your way up into an easy seat position. And so to close out the practice, if you'd like to join me, bring your arms out to your side. Let's take an inhale, raise the arms up overhead, and exhale, hands to heart center. Namaste.